Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Abundant Joy to Row. This is our day, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. I'll tell you, I'm re-recording this video because I did do an extensive pile picking, and I just was like, it was a really long pile picking, and I don't feel like y'all really probably want to sit through that. But if you do really like watching the pile picking, please let me know in the comments so I know. I don't mind doing it. It's a very meditative process, and I'm just connecting and praying with spirit and pulling the cards and praying over the cards as I'm picking them. But so I have selected 3 piles for you all for this reading. I'm excited for this reading today because we're going to talk about what blessing or gift is coming for you in this month. So those of you who are hearing this reading right now, we're in the month of September, but this is a timeless reading. So whenever you find it, if one of these piles resonates to you and you pick it, it's going to be in alignment with where you are on your path. So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to look at each pile. We will look at what is the current situation or environment that you're in. And then we will look at what is the actual gift or blessing that is coming your way in this month. And then we'll look at what actions or mindsets do you need to have to be able to readily receive that gift or blessing. And then finally, just 2 oracle cards with guidance from spirit. So the piles have been picked, and this is what we have. So you can jump right into your pile. Pile number 1 is got this Unakite heart. Sorry, I've got a Band-Aid on the finger today. And the bear. Okay. The bear is an earth energy, and this is just the current energy that is walking with you right now, and I'll talk to you about that in the reading if you choose that pile. And the pile number 2 will be a rose quartz, and the panther, which is a fire energy that's walking with you, and I will talk with you about it in the reading. This is your current environment. And then finally, pile 3 will be the green Aventurine, and it is the raccoon, which is also another earth energy, okay, that is walking with you. Now we will be pulling another animal card in the deck in terms of it connected to the blessing, what energy is walking with you in the blessing and the gift, and that will be within the pile. So these are your piles for today. I would take a moment, take a breath, check in with your intuition and guidance from your guides, and see which one of these resonates with you. If more than one of these piles resonates with you, that is certainly welcome in this reading. You may have multiple blessings coming to you. There may be multiple advices that you get from the other piles. So again, this is a general reading, so take what resonates with you, and leave the rest, because it may be a message for someone else in the collective. But hopefully you will find the gift and blessing that you're looking for today. All right, so this is our day. I will see you in your readings. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. This is our day, and again, we're looking at what is the blessing or gift that is being prepared for and coming to you in this month. All right, and we start with what is the current energy that's around you? What are you working with? What are you walking with? And you were pulled in by this bear card. Now, the key thing that we know about bears is bears are very powerful. They are earth animals. They're grounded to the earth, but they also hibernate. They sleep. And this card is speaking to an energy that's around you where you are waking from a bit of a spiritual slumber. Okay, you're beginning anew. You're at the beginning of a new cycle right now. Okay, so it may have been, you may have kind of had difficulty either currently or in the recent past, like with your movement, everything being slow. You had kind of, your efforts were difficult. Okay, so the bear card represents a new direction and personal transformation. All right. So the thing about it is that when the bear comes out of hibernation, those initial weeks can be kind of tricky, clumsy, a little, what's the word? Like sluggish, sluggish in terms of getting us to move forward, which kind of is in alignment with this sort of Mercury retrograde energy that we've been walking through recently, and that I believe we are currently in. But the thing is that what this is saying is that your winter is ending and your spring is emerging. Okay. It's interesting because we are actually moving into fall, but in terms of your spiritual energy and what is around you, you are emerging. Okay, so that's a beautiful card to kind of get us an idea of where you are right now. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull a couple of tarot cards to see kind of what is the environment, what's kind of going around, to see if we can see any more of the story. All right. And the other thing is that with the bear, there's also this sense of you may be feeling this sort of yearning or angst, if you will, to kind of grow, to move forward, to start something. Okay. Let's see what we've got. So you've got, wow, the Page of Cups, the Six of Cups. Interesting. Okay. And the Seven of Pentacles. This is a beautiful new deck that I have that is reflecting the Gullah images, with using tarot to reflect the Gullah images. So the Page of Cups, it is kind of in alignment with what I was just saying in terms of where you might be, because the Page of Cups is a learner, a dreamer. There's a spiritual psychicness to the Page of Cups. Okay, sometimes he's depicted with that idea of, that dreamer who dreams beyond, like when pigs fly, right? With this idea of the impossible dream. Okay. So it seems to me that those of you these beautiful souls that chose this pile one, you may be in a space where you've been in some mucky water, you've been feeling a bit stuck, maybe a bit sluggish, or maybe you've just been needing to rest, just needing to kind of slow down a bit. But your mind space, your head space, your heart space, your spiritual space is reaching out to grab bigger dreams. The other thing is you've got this Six of Cups. So many of you, and this can often come up within this Mercury retrograde type energy, are reflecting on past memories. Could be childhood memories or just things from the past, things that have supported you in the past. Cups is a beautiful sort of emotional energy. And there's this sort of sense of what is family or familiar to you, this idea of kind of a covering, if you will, or protection of some kind. All right. So that may be this. I'm feeling you all in this sense of like like an incubator, kind of like covered in, undercover. Some of you, this may have felt like, this is what I'm hearing. Some of you may be in, or you may have felt like that looked like a bit of depression. Okay. That might be where you are right now, that emotionally you're in this space, and you've got on one side your dreams are still there in terms of what might be possible for you, but there's maybe like a float into nostalgia, and that could be either positive or negative for you. I'm really getting the sense that some of you who may be listening to this reading, that nostalgia has brought you to a low period emotionally, where you may have been feeling down, you may have been struggling a bit. Okay, so what you've got here also is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles can indicate a little bit of impatience, if you will, that you may have been working on something and steadily working on it, and then finding that it has not come to harvest yet. It hasn't come to final fruition. All right. But it's the Seven of Pentacles is about perseverance. It's about continuing to move yourself forward. So again, we're looking at what is your current environment. Okay. There may be some projects that you've been working on diligently that you're not seeing the results that you expected to see at this point. You may still have a big dream that's out there, but you may be in a place of nostalgia, cocooning, coming out of this awkwardness of the bear hibernation, right? Now, it's interesting because, again, looking at what is your current environment, your oracle card from the Crow deck is trap, okay? And I want to take a deeper look at the trap card here. But what I'm feeling is that some of you may be in a space where you feel trapped. Okay, you feel like it kind of is in alignment with this idea of the hibernation, but instead of feeling like it's a voluntary hibernation of some kind, you may be feeling like, I didn't put myself in this hibernation. I feel stuck. I feel unable to move. I feel lethargy. I feel grief. I feel sadness. Okay. It can cause you to feel a bit of panic that things are not moving forward, okay? Sometimes what we think will make life easier or more comfortable will hold us back from our greater potential. So sometimes that sense of like kind of closing ourselves in will actually keep us from where we need to go. So it's in those moments of discomfort that we develop skills and strength. It may be easy to take a job that doesn't challenge us, but in so doing, that limits our growth and how far we can go. We may even stay in a relationship that isn't fulfilling because separating is too complicated. Of course, after becoming aware of being trapped, some might accept the limitation, and then perhaps some level of comfort is restored. Okay, so this sense of being trapped. So this is what we are talking about with the current environment. So let's go ahead and go into looking at what is the actual blessing or gift that the divine, your spirit guides, your ancestors are preparing for you for the month of September. Okay, remember that we live in a universe that is balanced. So, there's always, when we go through a period of suffering, when we go through a period of down, there's always, the sun always comes up, right? There's always light on the other side. So let's take a look at this. So we've got a couple of cards here to look at what is this actual gift. And you've got, let me see, is this supposed to be reversed, Spirit? Okay, it looks like maybe. Okay, so you've got the 8 of Swords reversed. You've got the 2 of Swords. You've got the Wheel of Fortune. Interesting. Okay. Beautiful energy. The 8 of Swords reversed. Okay, you've got deep sea diving, way of the mystic, learn through experiencing depths. So we'll dig into that a little bit. Okay, and then you've got the vulture spirit. Nothing is wasted. A vulture will not waste. Okay, nothing is wasted. And I'm hearing very clearly from this that part of the gift that you're going to find is that all of the struggles and the lessons that you've had to learn through some very difficult times, perhaps some very lonely times, is what I'm feeling for this pile. It's going to benefit you. You're going to find, wow, okay, like the way that you learn to maneuver in this space of feeling trapped, the things that you learned on how to support yourself is what I'm saying, or still yourself, or comfort yourself, mother yourself, father yourself, right? That is going to support you in the next leg of your journey, and nothing will be wasted. Okay, we'll read more about that. Now, the 8 of Swords is a card that talks about moving away from something. Okay, but it's interesting to me here that you've got the 8 of Swords reversed. Okay, so that's letting me know a couple of things. One is that we've been talking about this idea of being trapped, or things coming out of hibernation, right? So there is a blessing or gift that's coming to you that is going to allow you to stand still. Okay, see the environment around you. I'm getting a sense of like sort of nostalgia, because we saw that this Cups card, the 6 of Cups card. which talks about the past influences, past support, and all of that. And what I'm really sensing here is with this Eight of Swords that oftentimes when I see the Eight of Swords upright, I'm saying, okay, you're letting something go. You're moving away from something and moving towards something else, okay? So the Eight of Swords, okay. So the Eight of Swords, so I just want to kind of remind myself here. So the Eight of Swords is that sense of, yes, walking away from things, but also being stuck, right? There's several images of it where within the tarot where what you see is a delusion in front of you, okay? But when it's reversed, one of the things that we can get caught up in is a sense of victimhood, getting trapped in our own stories, getting stuck in past experiences or excuses to remain shackled, all right? And so because you've been in your heart space, if you will, around some past experiences, some past influences, I feel like that the gift that is coming for you is there will be an opportunity for you to be able to step out of victimhood, step away from your stories, if you will, about your life, about your past, about what that means for your future, okay? And what we're seeing here is that you have the opportunity to step out of that, pull your blindfold off, which is what the Two of Swords speaks to, and make a decision. The Two of Swords is about using your intellect, using your mental capacity to move yourself forward. But one of the things that can be tricky about this is that you've got to be able to look at your shadow and light. You've got to be able to look at the situation for what it is and who it is, right? Like, look at the people around you for what they're actually bringing to the table, okay? You're at a crossroads. So it's time for you to make a choice. And you need to choose based on what is pushing you forward in your life, not based on old stories that you may have about your life, okay? And then the blessing is that the fortunes are going to turn in your favor. So what you need to do, beloved, is you need to make a decision, okay? Moving in the direction of your dreams, of your focus. Tap into that page of Cups energy that believes in what may seem impossible to you now. And trust and know that the wheel of fortune is turning in your direction, okay? I love that the wheel of fortune is here after you've made a decision. So it's like Spirit is saying your gift or your blessing for September is that when you make a decision, when you choose to say, yes, I am going to move forward in this direction, believe wholeheartedly in yourself, then things are going to move forward. And things are going to move in the direction of your fortune, okay? This beautiful card of deep sea diving. Now, this comes from the Healing Waters Oracle. And I love this because I feel like it reminds me of the Hanged Man card because there's this connection to spirit. And I feel like the deep sea diving here is really about your emotional depth, really diving into yourself. As bears are in hibernation, it's a period of alone time. It's a period of contemplation and reflection. They're asleep. And in that contemplation, there's a lot that we're doing within our sleep, within our hibernation. There's a lot of healing that can occur. I'm getting the guidance that one of the things that you can do in order to strengthen your gift from spirit is to tap into your sleep time. What's happening around your sleep? What are you hearing around your sleep? Do you sleep in silence? Do you ever consider doing any sort of meditations before sleep that allow you to kind of connect with your higher self, to connect with the divine, to connect with your guides that are walking with you? And you can even just very simply like breathe pray and ask the divine to walk with you in your dreams. Use them as a tool to give you guidance and support and comfort. Okay. So this deep sea diving is about learning from experiencing, going into the depth. Okay. Your affirmation for this particular card is I trust my path and choose to see the sacred everywhere and within all things. I follow the intelligence that's within me. And that is really in alignment with what we're seeing here, because this Two of Swords is really about your mental capacity and making a decision that is right for you. This card is reminding you that the sacred is everywhere and within everything. So every moment is an invitation to deepen the connection within, okay? We learn from experiencing life, and Spirit is asking you to go ahead and take those steps to go into perhaps uncharted places in your life, but you're being called to embrace the uncertainty. You're being called to the depths, and you'll return from that depth of your own spirit transformed. You will know you have been changed, okay, is what I'm hearing. That's beautiful. And then we've got this beautiful vulture spirit that I also want to make sure that I give you the good guidance here, because we're talking about what is this gift? What is this blessing that Spirit is going to be bringing to you in the month of in this month, okay? And so the message here is what seems hideous has its own beauty. So if you're really struggling right now, and I'm feeling that for some of you that are in this pile, what you need to know is whatever is hurting you, whatever has seemed like just a horrible experience that has happened in your life, that there is recycling and repurposing that the vulture does. The vulture spirit's message is that nothing will be wasted, for nature sees value in everything that exists. What seems rotten and ugly has the potential to be transmuted into something beneficial. And you are reminded, I really feel like this is also about your self-image and how you're seeing yourself, and whether or not you're in a space of thinking that some part of you is not good or something that you want to push away from. It's like this, the Spirit is saying that which you think is not beautiful within you is going to be transformed and transmuted and used in a beautiful way, okay? Wisdom and understanding that arose from the experience are talismans that will serve you on your journey wherever you go. What is decaying is only changing form and will fertilize seeds you wish to plant, turning that which has passed away into the substance that will support new growth. Okay, so this is sense of like, no pain was in vain and no experience was wasted, for you have the power to use it to co-create something far better. This is the miracle in your partnership with Spirit. All right, so Spirit is really coming in and saying to you, beloved, whatever you believe is decaying, whatever you believe is dying, I know how to use it. And I know how to lift you out of a place of death and dying and into a place of rebirth and beautiful, beautiful growth and abundance. All right, and the wheel of fortune is going to be turning in your direction. So within this month, it's just about you making a decision, taking your blindfold off, looking at things truthfully, and making a decision to move forward. Now, what actions or mindset do you need to have to be able to fully receive this gift? You've got the King of Cups and the Nine of Swords. Okay, so this is telling me very clearly you need to turn your attention, turn your emotional attention to what is happening for you emotionally and tapping into your emotional intelligence. You may still be stuck in a space of the Nine of Swords, which is about mental anguish. It's about really kind of mind torture that we can put on ourselves, where we're worried about things. We can't sleep at night. We're like feeling distressed and grieved, and anxiety is heavy. Okay, so this is telling me that in order to really fully receive that, which is why I think I keep hearing this message around your sleep. It's really important for you to get the sleep that you need. Understand that there are tools out there for meditation, sleep meditations that you can do before you go to sleep or even while you're asleep, okay? They can help calm your spirit, get you connected with there's plenty of free ones on YouTube that you can look for and just see if there's something, or if there's a type of music that calms you, then you can play that as well and just say your own prayer. Say your own prayer. Remember that you have the power of the tongue and that you can be able to speak on yourself. You can breathe life into yourself, all right? And so if you're in a space of struggle, if you're in a space of anxiety, if you're not getting the sleep that you need to get, I'm asking you, beloved, and Spirit is asking you, beloved, to really speak into yourself, speak into your life, speak into your sleep, and ask to use that time as a time of support and healing where you can feel held to be able to move forward in your path. And tap into the King of Cups is deeply abundant, but what's beautiful about him is he is balanced with his emotionality. So he is able to navigate the waters of his own emotional depth, as well as what's going on at the surface, as well as what's going on with those around him. So being able to find that balance. The other cards that you have, the oracle cards you have, let's see. Oops. Okay, there we go. Cleanse. Okay, yes. Fear. Okay, so we're going to look at that. So cleanse is all about cleansing your body, cleansing your mind, cleansing your spirit. So for those of you who are aware of, there's multiple ways to cleanse your space. Here she's got some sage that she's burning there. Others use like Florida water, or just put in fresh air, or get an essential oils and get those going into the space. Sprinkle some clear, fresh, sweet water in your house, okay, to be able to kind of lift the energy. What you want to do is kind of change the energy in your house. Pull out the negativity. Open up. If you've been in a space where there's darkness, because I just got the image of the darkness, if you have been either not had the time or just kind of sort of hiding, if you will, in your house, keeping the shades down, not letting the light in. Like one morning, you just need to get up, lift up all the curtains, lift up the blinds, open the windows, get the fresh air in there, get things moving around, shake things up in your house. If you haven't been listening to anything, put on some music that brings you joy. What you want to do is shift the energy, and cleansing is about that. And also, again, remember that you have the power of the tongue, okay? So you can speak into each space in your room. You can pray into each space in your room. What energy is there? Rebuke whatever negativity is coming at you. Speak your word and know that the divine is walking with you and supporting you, okay? Now, fear, this card is talking about that there is no illusion greater than fear. So what may be keeping some of you all stuck is this sense of fear, okay? And it's really important for you to be aware of what is triggering your fear, okay? Because fear is affecting some part of your life and needs to be addressed, okay? Fear manifests in various forms throughout our emotional journey on this planet. It may emerge as worry, anger, doubt, or anxiety. And we've been seeing that here with this Nine of Swords. So you've got some fear that's going on. Some of you may not be as clear about, there may not be an actual physical thing or physical person, for instance, that you may be in fear of, but it's an internal emotional fear that you're carrying around. If you're worried that a situation may not work out as you're hoping, take heart. The divine has it handled and is bringing the proper solution at the right time. Do not feed worry into the equation. Otherwise, you'll attract more of what you emote. Okay? If you are afraid that your hopes and dreams cannot manifest, then this card comes to tell you to have faith in yourself and in the divine. What is meant for you is meant for you, and it will happen at the right time. No one can take it from you. It is your birthright. Okay. So set the fear aside. Take action around cleansing your space, cleansing your mind, being mindful of what you're listening to, what you're allowing into your space. If you've been sitting around watching news all day long, every day, and you just feel the anxiety and angst of it, let's watch something else. Do some listen to some comedy. Bring in the energy that you need that will help you shake the fear and get you moving forward out of your phase of hibernation. Okay. This is what I'm seeing here for you all. And I've got 2 final oracle cards with your guidance from Spirit. Energy signature. Wow, look at that. The past is in the present. Okay, we're definitely going to look at that because you all are dealing with this whole reading has been also talking about some past things that are showing up. Commitment. The very first thing I heard when I turned this over is commitment to yourself, commitment to the divine. Okay. And what I'm hearing here is that you can see, if you look here, commitment is the key. Okay. And I'm also hearing obedience, like obedience. Obedience is such a tricky word, but the obedience here is about obedience to yourself, obedience to the divine, and what you know will help you to move forward on your journey. You have the key, okay? You have the key to open up your destiny, all right? And the divine is telling you, because this is our guidance from the divine, and the divine is saying, beloved, I have a commitment to you. I have already made my commitment to you, okay? And so all you need to do is make your commitment, be open to and present for the guidance from the divine, okay? And I want to pull from, this is definitely a beautiful deck. This is the Sacred Spirit deck, okay? And so we can get a little bit more, sort of out there in terms of not earthly, right? So we've got the energy signature here, and it's saying the past is in the present. Expose what has been hidden, okay? So it says that understanding that everything is energy. This is what is important. This is so important to your space too, in terms of cleansing, in terms of what you need to understand, that everything around you is energy. The air we breathe, the elements, emotions, sound, animals, people, our thoughts, all of this is energy, okay? Quantum physics seeks to explain this phenomena. Denser or heavier energy can be felt by a human being's normal senses. Most people will already understand that what it feels like to walk in a room where an argument has just taken place. Have y'all felt that when you walk and somebody has just been like, you walk into the room and you're like, ooh, okay, I just walk, because it's the energy. You can feel the energy in the space, okay? You can feel the unseen tension. It literally might be frozen. Everybody might be frozen. You might have just walked in. You may be laughing, coming into a room, and you can literally feel the energy as soon as you walk in, right? Okay, something's been going down. So that energy, everything is energy, and you are an energetic being. And so therefore you can work with the energy that is around you, and you can consciously shift the energy in your world, okay? And you can make your energy an energy that fuels you, that supports you, that promotes your joy, that promotes your love, that promotes your comfort, okay? But you got to be conscious and connected to the divine to be able to fully step in and do that, okay? So right now, you must use your sensory and intuitive intelligence for answers. You have experienced this type of energy before. You need to adapt and modify your behavior and actions accordingly to avoid unnecessary arguments, tensions, and toxic situations in your social, work, or family circles, okay? Reading the energy signatures of your environment becomes a built-in intuitive warning system. Prior to an issue occurring, you have the possibility of avoiding explosive exchanges, accidents, conflicts, or confrontations as it becomes in line with your fight or flight response, okay? And so this is all about your affirmation here is I remove the illusions that hide the truth. The answer is before me. And that takes me right back, beloveds, to what we see here in terms of this gift from Spirit, where they're asking you to take off your blindfold, look at the truth of the situation, make a decision, and watch the wheel of fortune turn in your direction. Okay, so that is what I see for your reading today. This is a beautiful reading, and it's really talking about you coming out of a spiritual hibernation, for you stepping back fully into your power, understanding that nothing that you've experienced has gone through has been wasted, that Spirit is going to use it and it's going to help you use it so that you can build a stronger commitment to yourself, to your success, to your future, and to your belief in the impossible being possible for you. Okay. All right, beloved, that's what I have for you today. I hope that this resonated with you. If so, please leave me a like or a comment, or make sure that you have subscribed to the channel, and I will see you next time in your next reading. Have a joyfully abundant day. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose the Panther and the Rose Quartz, this is going to be your reading, and we are exploring what blessing or gift is coming for you in this month, being prepared for you by the divine, your spirit guides, or your ancestors, to guide you forward within this month. And this is a timeless reading, so whenever you find it, if it's calling to you, or if you feel guided to it, then this is going to be your reading. So you have gotten pulled into the reading with this Panther spirit, and you can look at the energy of this spirit. Now, the Panther spirit comes from the fire element, so it has that strength that you can just almost feel the energy on the card of this Panther, okay? And I love what it actually is saying. It's a very, very intense energy. It says annihilation. Annihilation, not just destruction, but annihilation of the unnecessary, purging. So the Panther energy is not going to let you stand, is not going to stand by and stand in the way of your growth or energy that is stagnant, okay? Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc. So some of you may be in a space where you are, because we're first here talking about what is going on currently in your environment. It's kind of like your significator to say, is this what's going on in my world? If not, you might want to choose another pile. But this energy is a very fiery energy. Okay, when it's balanced, where you might be feeling brave and productive and moving through forward. If you're out of balance, which this card also represents, you can be a bit self-destructive. And so what's important for you to do is to get rid of the unnecessary. There may be things, people, work, situations, communities in your life that are causing an increase in your fire, are causing a disruption in the way that you need to move in your life. And the Panther spirit is going to illuminate those situations even clearer. It can be unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating. But after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the Panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they make us better people. So trust that the Panther's journey always leads to a brighter place, all right? So this may be where you are. It's just that your fire, your inner fire, is being driven up by the situations and the circumstances in your life. I'm getting a sense of, this is also the Rose Quartz, so I'm getting the sense that some of you all may be in, I'm almost feeling like the Panther spirit is more of a competitive spirit. I'm not getting, like with the reading before, I felt much more low energy, sadness. I'm not really getting that with you all so much. So we'll see what the cards have to say, but I'm definitely getting a sense of a more rapid energy, of fire energy, right? Of something moving, needing to move forward. So if you are in a place of stagnant, you ain't gonna be there long. And you're certainly not, you're probably not in one now. There's probably stuff that is happening in your world right now. And your level of tolerance may be a little bit lower than it has been before. You may be very fiery right now. Okay. So that's what I am feeling right now. But let's look at what the tarot says in terms of what's happening in your current environment. These are these beautiful Gullah cards, tarot cards. And you've got, ooh, wow, beautiful. You've got the Star. So many of you may be on a healing journey now. Oh God, I'm really getting like our healing journey goes through multiple layers. Sometimes our healing journey is about, like the last pile, kind of a hibernation phase, a lower vibration, like a slower moving healing process. But sometimes the healing journey takes on that fiery aspect that I'm feeling from this reading, where it's like you've gotten some revelations, some new understandings of who you are, and you have the impetus, you have the desire to move things forward. And so things start to happen in your life, whether or not you think you're causing them or not, that, begin to reflect back what is going on for you on your healing journey. So for instance, if you, let's just go simple. Okay. So like a food journey, right? Let's just say that on your discovery of yourself, you start to understand, oh, my body is not responding well to dairy. Okay. Let's just say that. Okay. And what will happen on your journey is that when it speeds up or gets fiery, is that you will find yourself in situations where you're either, kind of tempted or needing to, or ingesting dairy or overdoing dairy and finding yourself in a situation. That's why it can be uncomfortable. It can be unexpected. It can be frustrating. But it's an illumination, right? Like when the fiery energy in your healing journey comes up, it's like putting you, I don't want to say to the test, because that gives it a negative vibration, but giving you an opportunity to show your growth. Okay. To show your growth. But hope, spirituality, illumination, contentment. Okay. There's also a calm with the Star energy, but it definitely is about healing. Now you've also got, wow, the Empress. Okay. Beautiful card to have in terms of what's going on in your environment right now. You may be feeling very fertile. You might be feeling very creative, like wanting to birth something, wanting to create something. Now, the thing is, when we're in that space, she also represents harmoniousness and sensuality. But when we're in that space of birthing, remember what it is when you're in birthing. There is a stillness that can come in when one is birthing, right? Or as you go to different phases of that, that end phase of the birthing, there is a fiery energy that's pushing something out and pushing something forward creatively, right? In your world. Okay. Let's see. Now oh, wow. Okay. So you've got some really good energies in terms of what's going on with you right now. You've got the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is beautiful. It is about wealth, financial independence. It's also about freedom. It's about getting to a milestone, a place where you've been putting the work in, you've been diligently doing what you need to do, and coming to a place of abundance around there, and self-reliance, self-respect, self-confidence, all of that is sort of within that Nine of Pentacles. And because we've started off with this idea of the healing journey, I feel like for many of you who are listening to this reading, it's like you have been doing some work for some time. I'm really getting some time, like more than just a week or two, months, maybe even years of doing work on your healing journey. And so you've come to a place of milestone in regards to where you are on your path. Now let's see what else is going on in the current abundance. Wow. Okay. So the Crow, so this is confirming that You have moved to a place in your life where you've got this fire energy of the panther. You have seen some things. You are stepping. Look at all of these images of these beautiful women. Like, they're all in their own way, within their power, within their true essence of who they are. Okay. And so there's really this sense of, whether you're male or female listening to this reading, that there's this sense that you have been on your journey and that abundance is opening for you. Now, it's interesting because in the crow card, this abundance piece is like, they've got all of this fish here, and there's a need for you to actually share with the community your abundance, because this fish, although it's a beautiful blessing that they have there, there's only so much of it that they can eat before it will not be good anymore, right? Because it's been pulled out of the sea. So there's this sense of like, you may be in a space right now where either you're desiring or needing to also share your abundance with your community or your environment. All right. But what I'm getting overall is that your environment right now is an environment of healing. It is an environment of embracing creativity and growth and birthing possibly something new, and also a sense of self-reliance. Independence. The Nine of Pentacles can also represent sort of like that entrepreneurial type energy spirit, but in the place of success, right? Where you have done the work and now you're sort of standing on top of your investment here. So this is gorgeous to be where you are right now. So let's take a look at what gift or blessing may be coming in for you for the month of September. Okay. And you have, let's see. Okay, interesting. So you've got the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a completion. Okay, it lets me know that something is ending. You know, when we're going on our spiritual journey, when we're going on our healing journey, it goes through many sort of ups and downs. And I like to see it as like different levels of ascension. And as you go through each level of ascension, there are endings that occur. Now, this can sometimes, Ten of Swords can really indicate a painful ending here. The representation on this card is also reflecting the transcendentalness or the transformation, the growth that comes out of it, right? There's sort of some there are some nods, if you will, to the, you know, sort of resurrection and this sort of idea of like, you know, coming up from the pain and being rebirthed from the pain. Okay. So the Ten of Swords, so when we talk about this idea of a gift or blessing from the divine or your guides that are coming to you in this month, the first thing I'm seeing here is the ending of something that is painful in your journey. Okay. Some type of closing that is going to mark a new beginning. Now you've also got the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is this slow and steady movement toward building your prosperity and growth in the physical world. Now you've already got this abundance. So I feel like there's this sense of like what Spirit is going to do for you within the month of September is going to close out some things that are still lingering, that are no longer serving you, that are hurting you in some way, and allowing you to build an even greater, stronger foundation moving from whatever that piece is on your journey. Okay. And I'm hearing for some of you all, that has to do with some family connections. That may not be true for all of you all, because this is a general reading, but this is just what I heard, that there is like perhaps some endings within your, what's the word? Like perception or view of family relationships or connections, or how you need to be in connection to family. And family can be your birth family or your like community family, right? In terms of how you're showing up in that. If you've been on your healing journey for some time and reached some of these incredible milestones that we're seeing in this environment right here, it definitely is going to mean that you are shifting your spirit, who you show up in the world as a human being is shifting. Okay. And so therefore your your connections to people have to shift. And in some ways, sometimes there is a closing that has to happen. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the closing of the whole relationship. It could just be how you show up in the relationship. I'm no longer showing up as the person who, is always depressed. I'm no longer showing up as the person who is always trying to make everybody else feel better. I'm no longer showing up the person who is doing way more than everybody else in the situation, right? Whatever it may be. Okay. I'm no longer showing up as the angry person in the group, right? I'm now, really embracing peace, or, whatever that might be for your healing journey. Okay. And then the other card that you've got in terms of the blessing, and then we've got 2 oracle cards for it, is the Knight of Wands, which is really interesting because the Knight of Wands, whereas the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, the Knight of Wands is the fastest moving deck, card in the deck. Now it's interesting because the Knight of Wands really talks about this burst of moving forward with creativity, passion, fire. It's really ignited there with the Panther energy as well, in terms of moving some sort of creative project or something that, some new idea forward. The Knight of Wands is about movement. It's about making traction. It's about getting there quickly, sometimes so quickly that he can kind of run over other things to get there. Okay. Whereas the Knight of Pentacles is kind of that slow, steady, diligent. I'll get there. I'm just building it one by one. And so what I'm really sensing here, and particularly how the cards are kind of laying out, is that there is going to be an ending, right? A closing of something that is painful for you within this next month as a part of your gift and blessing. And then Spirit is going to show you step by step, diligently, what do you need to do to rebuild from that pain, okay? But very quickly, you're going to have sort of new passion, new idea. Because when we shed the old, y'all, sometimes it's like a weight. And when that weight drops off, it's like, whew, you like are ready to run because your load is lighter. And that load could literally just be how you viewed yourself, or what rules you set for yourself in terms of how you need to show up in this world. And when you all of a sudden say like, where did that rule come from? I don't have to do that, right? Then you just let that go, and all of a sudden you're able to move at the pace of the Knight of Wands. And so I love that this is the progression that we're seeing here. Let's see what else we've got in terms of an overview of what the gift is that's coming in. Wow, look at that, y'all. This pile is really in a place of overflow. Okay. If you don't feel like you're in overflow right now, beloveds, I'm telling you right now that it's coming in this month. This is the waterfall. It says inner power, unbridled confidence, claiming your place. There is a sense of you being in a place, and it's so healing. There's so much vibrancy and life in this card, healing waters, like the greenery in the background, the flowers blooming, right? It's all this waterfall, and the waterfall is embodied here, right? She's embodied in the healing flow. It actually reminds me of the Empress card, this sort of idea of like birthing, right? This growth that's happening. This is a blessing. This is talking about the blessing and the gift that's coming in. And it's like Spirit is saying, you are elevating to a new level. You're ascending to a new level in your healing journey, in which you are going to be infused with a sense of fire. The fire is going to turn to the positive. You're going to be moving forward toward things that are creative and passionate for you, where you feel passion. Now, for some of you, that creativity is just about what it is that you're birthing, what is coming new in the world. It could be that many of you are artists. I'm really getting the artist vibe here. So, many of you are artists in some way, writers, poets, singers, dancers, composers, actors, actresses, like drawers, anything, in terms of the creative. But it's also like creativity is everywhere. So in the way that you organize, you may be a community organizer in some way. You may be a business, an entrepreneurial, like the creativity that's needed in an entrepreneurial business leader of any kind is huge. Okay. So there's lots of ways that this can show up in terms of moving you forward. Now you've got the badger. Look at that. So there's really this sense of like you stepping fully into your power. This is another confirmation of this. This is be fearless and bold. Be fearless and bold. And I want to see if there's any additional information that this badger spirit has for us to share with you. So the badger spirit is here to protect you, okay? Which is deep because you are really kind of, as I said, ascending, going to a new level. And so when we are passing through new things, when you're closing out something, there's a bit of vulnerability that can happen here. But what is very clear in this message from Spirit is that you are not alone. You're not alone, beloved, in this journey. Spirit is right here with you and helping you to close out whatever is still causing you pain and suffering, and helping you to rebuild and move forward towards your passion and your joy. And the Spirit is asking you to be fearless. It comes to protect you. He reminds you that anger or aggression, argumentative behavior, or being pushy or manipulative will not result in a positive outcome. So again, we've got this duality with this Panther fire spirit of, being like too forceful, in like burning everything down, if you will. And then also being confident. So the light side of that, where you want to lean on, is just standing in your power, being confident, claiming who you are. Okay. Badger energy, or perhaps that energy is pent up in you. So be mindful of what's going on inside of you. But either way, now is the time to calm down and allow the energy to pass through you. Okay, it's suggesting that you get out in nature, go for a hike, shake it off, dance it out, so that you can return to a situation with a sense of peace. It also serves as a reminder that you have been relentlessly pursuing something that keeps eluding you. The message is that it's time to surrender it up to your higher power and focus on something else. So that is a confirmation here of something closing out. And it may be something that, because sometimes, as I said, the Ten of Swords can be a painful ending. And oftentimes it's painful for us because as human beings, we don't want change. So we don't want to close out, even if it's causing us pain. And so Spirit is saying that your gift in September is that we're just going to close out this pain for you. It is going to come to a completion, and you're going to be able to move forward and move lighter on your journey. And what you're being asked to do is to be still, be fearless and bold, but also be in a place of calm, finding your balance. I'm getting the sense of that temperance energy of finding your harmony within your journey. Okay. So now let's look at what do you need to do to be able to fully receive this beautiful abundance and confidence and claiming your place and elevating to a new level within your journey. All right. So these were the cards that we've pulled in terms of what actions or mindset do you need to have to be able to fully receive this abundance. Now you've got the Five of Wands. Interesting. So the Five of Wands is really about like healthy competition. And I love the image of this on this card because she's playing chess. So there's this sense of you needing to be strategic in your approach to the competition that is around you, in your growth that is around you. Remember, it was just saying with the Badger spirit, don't be pushy, argumentative, and all of that. Okay. So it's a need for you to choose your battles, if you will, know which direction you need to go to be able to be fully in your power. Remember that you cannot be fully in your power and be easily thrown off guard or easily angered or agitated by somebody else's actions. Then they have a bit of control over you. Okay. So what's important is that you need to have balance within your own body, mind, and spirit so that no one else can disturb your equilibrium because you are deeply connected to the divine. All right. All right. So you got the Five of Wands and you've got the Two of Wands. All right. And so this is about making a decision to move yourself forward in the direction of your dreams. She's literally holding the world in her hands, and she's looking off into the horizon to figure out, okay, what do I need to do next? How can I embody this? I feel like this card is really perfect for this reading because you all clearly have been on a path and have a sense of holding your world in your hands. But it's important for you to be discerning and making a decision towards your passion, because wands, again, are fire. So we've got this fire energy again with this Knight of Wands and this Two of Wands. And it's about making a decision toward what are you passionate about? What is driving you forward? Okay, so again, we're looking at what actions or mindset do you need to have to fully receive this blessing. And you've got boundaries. All right. So again, this is like a repetition here, what we're seeing with some of these other cards here, that as something is closing out, it becomes even more important for us to have firm boundaries. Build that circle around you. Be clear about what's acceptable for you and what's not acceptable, and do not let those boundaries be crossed. Okay. You deserve to have whatever peace you need to have so that you can be your best self. And only you can really set that for yourself and hold them firm. All right. So Spirit is saying that one of the things that you need to do so that you can continue your ascension and moving forward is check it into your boundaries. What are your boundaries now? What needs to shift in your boundaries? What other boundaries do you need to perhaps add and further reinforce? There may be some boundaries that you have set, but you've kind of allowed people to step all over your boundaries, and then they become ineffective. Okay. No longer working because people are like, oh, well, I can always step over that boundary, right? Unless and until you say, no, no, ma'am, no, sir, you may not step over that boundary anymore. And I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to do what I mean, say what I mean what I say, and do what I say. Okay. So the Spirit is really asking you to really show up for yourself and set the boundaries and keep the boundaries that are going to work for you. And then you've got this beautiful go with the flow card. Wow. I feel like there's this sense of like, you've got some duality going on, because you've got Spirit is saying, be strategic. Make decisions that are going to move you toward your passion. Set your boundaries. Once you've set your boundaries, go with the flow. Listen intuitively to what the divine and your spirit guides are telling you to do, and just go with it. Just release. There's sometimes when we think about boundaries or we think about being strategic, there's a rigidness to that. And I love how Spirit is saying, yes, I want you to set those things, set those rules for yourself. But then at the end of the day, just let it all go and go with the flow. Know that you are held, that you are guided, that you are protected by the divine. All right. And so now let's look at your final messages from Spirit. You've got astral travel, caution needed. So we're going to take a look at that. And wow, look at that. Metamorphosis. And what I'm also getting from this card with this is a 2-5, which is a 7 too. And what I'm also seeing here is like these two swans here. Like there is a connection here that will support you in your metamorphosis. And one of the things that that I just recently kind of was meditating on and contemplating is this idea that when the caterpillar is cocooned, we don't see what's happening with the metamorphosis. We only see the butterfly that comes out. We don't see that process that caterpillar goes through to get there. And it can be very challenging. And one of the things that I'm hearing from Spirit with this card is Spirit is with you in this journey of metamorphosis. You are not alone, okay? So even when you feel like you're alone in your journey, you are not alone, okay, beloved? You're not alone. And also, there are some other light spirits that are around you. And when I say light spirits, I mean other human beings that are in your world that are carrying light, that are also there to support you in your metamorphosis. But Spirit is asking you to be discerning about who you show what's in your cocoon, okay? Because that is a safe space for you and really is only available to you and the divine, and only those support people that are surrounded by light can even be on the outside of the cocoon, right? As you are going through your transformation. So it's really important to be mindful of that. Now I want to take a look at this astral travel as the final word from Spirit. Now it talks about caution needed, but it's really talking about when you're going through an ascension and you're going to a new level. It's just saying that you need to observe your surroundings. And Spirit has already been talking about that right now. You're in a place of growth and abundance. But this idea of that there's competition around you, that is something that needs to be ended, okay? And that you need to set firm boundaries, okay? So you need to be, some of you may be having, I'm going to say out of body experiences, but the out of body experiences, understand that out of body experience can be, even when we're in a group of people, right? And say, particularly with families, right? In family dynamics, if like that same old argument comes up and people start going in that, and you just kind of like tap out, you know what I mean? And you're not fully present, right, with what's happening there. That is an out of body experience, okay? Because you're not fully present, right? And oftentimes many of us are walking around not present a lot, okay? So what Spirit is saying is that caution is needed for you to be observant of your surroundings, particularly because many of you are in a space of transformation, metamorphosis. And so it's almost like you need to be, the divine is protecting you and watching out, but you also need to be mindful of the surroundings that you put yourself in to make sure that they are conducive to your cocoon. If you're walking around in cocoon and going through transformation, you're not going to put your cocoon on a river rafting trip, right? Where it's like rolling all around and not getting the support and the balance that it needs. So make sure that you're surrounding yourself with communities, with people, with environments, that are going to be soothing to your spirit and soothing to your spirit, particularly in your cocoon phase. Okay. The affirmation for this beautiful card is, I am divinely protected. My soul is safe to explore my path with ease and grace. Okay. So this is really saying that you're being asked to keep your spiritual radio tuned to listen for unwanted interference. Observe your surroundings and be aware of manipulation by others through psychic energy, speech, and planned social meetings. Caution is required in all areas of communication. Keep sensitive information confidential, which is, thank you for that confirmation, Spirit, because when I picked up this metamorphosis card and I saw these two things here, what I kept hearing, I just didn't quite know how to articulate it, was that you need to be mindful of the fact that you're in a cocoon and where you surround yourself, where are you being surrounded? Okay, what you're allowing into your space, what you're hearing, what you're allowing yourself to hear. You got to be a mother, father, auntie, uncle to yourself, because you're in a special place and you're going to emerge as a different human being. Okay, so you need to be careful to not be dragged down or cluttered or covered over by other people's energy, remembering that everything is energy. Okay, emotions, ideas, thought patterns, what they believe is possible for themselves. Oftentimes people, they only believe, this much is possible for themselves. So therefore, it's not possible for you to believe that much is possible for you. Well, that much is possible for them too, but they just are not there. So you have to be mindful that you're not getting infected, by low expectations, yeah. So that is what I'm seeing here. So your blessing for this month is going to be that there is going to be a closing out of something that is causing you pain. You're going to begin to diligently move yourself forward in the direction of your dreams. And then things are going to take off in a creative toward your creative work and passion. All right. And that you are going to be stepping fully into your confidence and power and your full empress power. Right. Be bold. Be fearless, set boundaries, make decisions that move you forward, and be strategic, and then allow yourself to go with the flow. All right. So that's what I'm seeing for you all. I think this is a beautiful blessing. I'm really excited for you. I'd love to hear what of this resonated with you, if any of this resonated with you. And I just wish you light and support and love and protection on your journey to ascension and healing. Many blessings to you. Thank you so much for being with the Abundant Joy today. This is our day, and I will see you in your next reading. Okay, bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Raccoon and this green Aventurine, this is going to be your reading on what blessing or gift is being prepared for you by the divine and your spirit guides within this month. So no matter when you find this timeless reading, if this pile was calling to you or you felt inspired to listen to it, then this is going to be your message. Again, this is a general reading, so take what resonates with you. But we've been having some really interesting and beautiful readings, and I suspect that this will be the same. So you've got the Raccoon pulling you in here. And the Raccoon, there's multiple things about the Raccoon here. So first of all, this is like an earth energy. And that the Raccoon has that kind of mask over it as well. And so this card is really speaking to okay, so it talks about the Raccoon being the playful energy in the Raccoon is about the artist. So many of you that are in this pile may be an artist to greater or lesser degrees, okay? You have talent, you have tenacity and skillfulness, and you may particularly be working with some type of instrument, like a musical instrument or a creative tool of some kind that supports you. Now, the thing is that sometimes this card can represent sort of unresolved issues around success and self-image, all right? So we're going to look at whether or not that comes out further here and whether or not that confirms us for here. Now, this idea of the mask is that sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in the artist's favor, but other times it can limit your creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? The Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until the creative ego fear is resolved. Now, what this is also speaking to me is those of you who maybe don't consider yourself artists, or either way, whether you consider yourself an artist or not, what this card is really talking about is how you show up. When we think about life, like life in itself is kind of a stage. And there's this idea here that I'm really picking up from this card is that this is more than just the mask of like wearing a mask on the stage. It's like how you show up in your world. Are you too worried about what other people are thinking about you? What does the audience think? What do the people in your environment think? Right? Versus what is coming from your true core, your true soul. Is something hindering you from being your true self? Because this energy is in your current environment right now. And the Raccoon is a very playful energy, but it also is one that wants you to be fully in your authentic self. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that. This is like sort of the overarching energy that's occurring right now. I'm going to pause the video for just a moment and make sure that our candle is burning here. Okay, we always want to keep that light burning, but I do want to call out that, anything that sort of happens in a reading I pay attention to. And there was one candle that was out and not both of them. But there's this sense of, I was just talking about like how you're showing up, and that what I kind of heard as I paused the video and was beginning to change the candles and stuff. And as I continued to kind of pray and being connected with spirit, what I was really getting is that some of you are not letting your light shine. You're letting your light go out, right? You're letting your light go out in the front of certain individuals or communities or people. So one of the things that you need to be mindful of that may be going on in your current environment right now is what are the places where you feel like you need to dim your light in some way? Where are the places you need to make yourself smaller in some way? What are the places in which you are not allowed to be your true, whole, authentic self? Yeah, there's certain ways that we show up differently, and oftentimes we feel like, oh, it's okay that we show up differently. Like, okay, I'm gonna, as we call in our community, code switch in this environment, and then in this environment, I'm gonna be this person. In this environment, I'm gonna be this person. And it's not that you're being fake. It's just that there's different aspects that you allow to be seen or not seen in various environments. And that can be healthy. But there is a way in which sometimes we can overdo that. And so that we're literally not allowing ourselves to be our whole selves. And sometimes it is in spaces that we spend the majority of our time in. And that can really erode your soul and your spirit and how you're showing up. So spirit is also asking you to take a look at that, how it is that you're showing up, and how it is that you're showing up, and how can you be truly authentic yourself? Where can you take your mask off? So let's look at what the Tarot says about your current environment. This is the Gala Tarot deck that I just got. I'm really enjoying. Okay, so this is the Four of Cups. Okay, so it talks about the Four of Cups. Really can talk about this sort of sort of angst or longing, feeling like you've gotten missed opportunities, maybe having some regret, some stagnation, just kind of being lethargic, or this is lackadaisical. Okay, so but the Four of Cups. So this is again talking about what's going on in your current environment. So that it may be that you feel like things are not moving in the direction that you would like to see them move. You may feel like things are not going in your direction. You haven't won some things. You may have even lost some things recently, or maybe you are working on something and it didn't come through in the way that you thought it was going to come through. And so it's not a depression, the Four of Cups, but it's more of like that just stagnant, like, kind of ho-hum energy, which does not move us forward in any way. Okay, so really thinking about that. Now you've got, wow, okay, so you've got the Death card. Okay, this is talking about spiritual transformation. Sudden change is really what the Death also talks about, and new beginnings. Because whenever something closes out, there's always a rebirth. Okay, that's just the nature, that's the law. That is the law of the universe, that there is this continual cycle of death and rebirth, okay? But you may have most recently gone through something, had to let go of something, had to lose something within yourself. Oh, interesting. And then you've got the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is kind of like that next phase of that Four of Cups. I could see exactly how this transition goes, because you've got this sort of something is not quite right. It's not where you want it to be. And then all of a sudden there's a loss, like a full loss, a hurt, something has changed completely. And then you find yourself in a space of indecisive, not being able to move forward, sabotaging yourself. It can be a place of stagnancy. But the other thing about the Hanged Man is that it is also a pause. I see it more like a pause, that you are in a pause, because typically the image is like the Hanged Man is, kind of hanging upside down, and their head is closer to some source of light. Okay. So it's like you are able to get downloads from spirit. It is a major arcana card. So it is a part, everybody goes through this phase. This is a part of our journey, right? But the Hanged Man is an opportunity for you to pause and get downloads from spirit. All right. It's just about being clear about where you are in that space and not getting caught up in the stagnation of it. Okay. And then you've got Alley. Okay. So this is interesting. The Alley card is really talking about how alleys cause us to slow down, because we've got to pay attention to boundaries, and you need to focus on the details, because alleys give you a very small space to be able to maneuver, and there's shadows that are in alleys. And so there's things that maybe we don't see, things that are there are distorted. Like when you see in movies, or even if you've been in a dark alley at night, like you might see a shadow and think somebody's there, and then you get closer to it, or you get into the light, and it was, as it says, like a tin can is casting a shadow on the wall, and all of a sudden it looks like there's actually somebody there, right? So that's the idea of the alley. So this being in terms of what your current environment is, it's also kind of the sense of like things may not be as they seem. All right. And you need to be really mindful about what is real and what is your mind. How is your mind playing a trick on you? Okay. As I said, alleys are very narrow. The opening is narrow. The conditions may not always be clear for safe passage. So you've got to be really clear about what you're doing. It's much like threading a needle. You've got to find what requires your attention, what requires your focus, move on that, and move on through to get to a broader space of light and clarity. And because you're in the Hanged Man's phase, that really does make sense in terms of being in this alleyway. So being mindful that you're tapping into the divine and spirit, your intuitive self, your spiritual guides, and that you're really tapping into the light as you're moving through this challenging period of letting go of something, of having to formulate what is new. So this is what is going on in your current environment right now. And so let's take a look at what is the actual gift that is coming through from spirit, gift or blessing. So that's these cards here. And you've got, wow, look at that. You've got the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles talks about your life purpose, your dream job, your work that is sustenance to your soul. Okay. Three of Pentacles. Three of Cups, which is all about celebration, right? This is beautiful in terms of what's coming in. What is this blessing? And the Empress. Wow, you all, you got 3, 3, 3. So if you've been seeing 3, 3, 3, this is like a confirmation for you, because there is a lot of 3 here. And then you've got the Sirens, which is use your voice, expansion, freedom. This is beautiful. And the Dove Spirit, 21, 3. Okay, so you've got 3, 3, 3, 3. So pay attention if you've been seeing a lot of 3s. 3 energy is about expansion, okay? 3 is about moving out of the duality and moving into a birthing place, right? The Empress represents the 3. She's a major arcana. She is fertility. She is about birthing, newness, creative projects. I feel like, this raccoon we talked about, was kind of representing kind of that artist or that creative space, that stage space. And this blessing that is coming in for you in this beautiful month is immense. sense. All right. Because what Spirit is really saying is that what is going to be opening for you within the next month is a connection to what is your true source, what is your true purpose in terms of moving yourself in the direction of a work that really fuels your soul and your love and your passion. Okay. So if you're an artist, it also can talk about maybe possibly being in a collaboration with others or within the community, or starting a project in where you begin to make some headway in collaborating with others to create something that really fuels your soul and moves you forward. There's this real sense of like birth and emergence. I mean, look at the colors in these cards. The colors in these cards are just so vibrant. A lot of yellow and green, life, fertile energy, passion with the red, right? So there's a lot of growth that's happening here. Stars are all over these cards, this sort of opening into what is possible beyond what we see here on the earthly plane. You've got the use your voice, the sirens, the expansion and freedom card. And this card really asks you to think about, what is your purpose? What is it that what have you been called to use your voice for? What is it that the Spirit has been saying, yeah, beloved, you need to talk more about that, or you need to do more of that, or, what is that space that you go into? Like, if you're an artist, you need to be singing more. Like, do you need to be out in public more? This is all about expression, right? Expanding your freedom of expression and your freedom of self. This is really about taking off that mask and being wholly and truly who you are in all of your circles. Okay, beloveds, that's exactly what this is saying, because this is so like this 333 is just, I just get this sense, like I just feel like I have this heart opening, right? This expansion of what is possible for you within this next month. Now you've got this Be Peace card, which is talking about be the peace that you want to see in the world. Okay. That's that dove spirit. You all in this pile who chose this pile are beautiful light beings. I can see it and feel it. And this is confirmation of it. And it is Spirit reminding you to remember who you are, that you are a spirit of light, and that when you step into your light and step into your power, you shine brightly, loves, so brightly that you heal others without even knowing it. Okay. You just step into the space. Your words, your expression of yourself is divine, and it is something that is going to be healing not only to yourself but also to others. So while you may be in a period where you've had to let some things go, you may be feeling low, you may be feeling like, what is it all worth? I've been trying to do this and it's just not turning out the way I want it to do. You may feel stuck, you may feel stagnant. Okay, you may feel like your path in front of you is narrow because of this alley card that we've gotten here, that your mind is playing tricks on you. Like things are not what they seem. But Spirit is saying that the gift, the blessing that's coming into you is like an awakening of clarity, awakening of expansion, an actual physical project of like moving forward with something in collaboration with others that is going to fulfill you, because it's moving you towards your true purpose. It's doing work that's associated with your true soul's purpose. So lean into that. Trust into the divine. There is a celebration that is coming for you, right? Like this is celebration of community. Look at them. They are just, yes. Okay. So there's just so much celebration here in community. And then the Empress, I mean, that's just the ultimate gift and card here, because it's saying that whatever it is that you're working on and continuing to move forward, you are going to birth, and you're going to be fertile in terms of being able to create what you need to create in the world. The Empress is also abundant, just so abundant. Like, I mean, she's surrounded here by the fruits and the harvest, and everything is just really right at her fingertips, so overflowing that she is able to give easily and freely to others as well. There's a lot of dove energy here, a lot of bird energy here. So some of you all may have been seeing different birds around you. Those are guidance from your spirit guides as well. Okay. So this is just incredible. Like a really, really beautiful gift in terms of an opening that's happening for you within the next month. Beautiful. 333. Pay attention to that 333. What's happening when you see, if you see 33 or 333 or 3333, because you've got 4 here, pay attention to what's happening at that particular moment. Okay. Okay, so this section of the reading is about what actions do you need to take or mindset do you need to have to be able to fully receive this gift or blessing that's coming in within the next month. And you've got the Queen of Pentacles, gorgeous, and the Four of Pentacles. So it's really about you building a foundation, right? Building stability, taking the actions and the steps that you need to do to pull yourself out of stagnation and build the foundation for what it is that your soul's purpose is. The Queen of Pentacles is about stepping into your power, being in your expansion, your freedom, using your voice, okay? The Queen of Pentacles is wealthy, fully abundant, fully in her power, generous and grounded. Okay. So, just gorgeous energy. She's very similar to the Empress in that she's overflowing with abundance, that Queen of Pentacles is. Okay. And forgiveness. So some of you, if some of you need to forgive other people that have affected what has brought you to the space of what you've had to let go of, this stagnation, things not going in the direction you want. There's some other people, work environments, communities, things that you need to allow yourself to forgive. Understand that forgiveness is not about saying it's okay what someone has done to you. It's about releasing your hold on what they have done to you. Okay. And others of you, and maybe all of you, also need to forgive yourself. And I say that because you may think, well, I don't need to forgive myself. But what the thing is that what we will do is we set these ideas about where we need to be, who we need to be, how we need to behave, And if we step out of that because of our life circumstances, or things need to shift, or we need to shift, or we need to grow, or we learn something different about ourselves, there's a part of us that kind of can blame ourselves or not allow our own beings to grow, to be something different, and it's about understanding that you are the best person that you are in any given moment. So you can forgive yourself for what you didn't know in the past. Yeah, maybe you would do it differently now, but you did the best that you knew how to do in the moment with the information that you had at that time. And so it's really, really important for you to be able to let that go and forgive yourself so that you can step wholly into your powerful future, okay? Pile number 3, it's really important that you do that. The other thing that you want to do, sovereignty. Okay, look at that. So this is a confirmation. This card is all about claiming your power, stepping into your true, authentic self, trusting and knowing that you are connected to the divine, that your divine essence is part of what is essential to this world, that the gifts that you bring to this world are essential. The more you step into your sovereignty, the better off you are and your communities are, because you have a purpose in this world. And the more that you're clear about what that purpose is, and you claim your power and step into power and do your work that your soul is here to do, you are blessing not only yourself, but everybody else around you. So claim your own power, express yourself. And this is what you need to do to step into the gifts that are coming to you this month. Okay. Beautiful, really beautiful. So really about building your foundation, taking the steps you need to do to move you towards your soul purpose. You are going to be birthing something beautiful and new with this beautiful Empress energy, and much abundance is coming to you. And what all you need to do, what you're required to do, is to be able to Not only forgive those that were before you, but forgive yourself and step into your own sovereign power and begin to do the work you need to do towards your soul purpose. And the final guidance from Spirit is, look at that, lead the way, light your own path. And I'm going to read more about that, but that is beautiful. Oh, wow. And education, 3-5 is an 8. And so education, I love this card because it's like education from Spirit, education from books, education from the internet, if you will, education. What do you need to do to, Spirit's guidance is, what do you need to inform yourself more of the path that you know is your path? Allow yourself to have a spirit of exploration, a spirit of learning, allowing yourself to be a student. Students allow themselves to make mistakes because they're learning. So you're in the process of learning too. And as you step into your sovereignty, even as you're claiming your power, you're learning that process. So allow yourself to make mistakes within that process. Be the peace, not only for your community, but for yourself. Okay? Be peace for yourself is what I'm hearing very clearly. Now, the lead the way is again, to me, speaking on you knowing and stepping into your own divine birthright, your own power. Listen to yourself, okay? Light your own path. All right, the faithful deer here is a creature of deep sensitivity with heightened senses and a strong fight or flight response. The deer is always alert to the environment around them. Their swiftness in response to potential threats allows them to escape any danger by running away at the slightest indication. The sensitivity and readiness of the deer requires a symbiotic relationship of trust of the physical senses. There's a sense of you needing to really lean into your own senses, trusting yourself. If you walk into a space and it does not feel right for you, beloveds, walk out, okay? It's about you leading your own path, all right? You may have been or appeared naive or innocent previously, but this has created vulnerable situations where you have not been able to fully comprehend your environment or the true intentions of others. Okay, so facing potential threats or confrontations is necessary and something we can't always avoid. So use your instincts to react, just like the deer. Choosing to run away from your problems, however, this will not help the situation improve. So be careful not to run too quickly away from the problem. Sense danger, react to danger. Okay, but you don't have to run. Just be alert. What does your gut tell you about the situation? Okay, you must decide how you choose your approach. All right, so your affirmation here is, I choose my own way forward. I am a guiding light, okay? So you, in connection with the divine, are guiding light within your life, all right? Many, many beautiful blessings are coming to you within the next month. I am so happy for you in this pile. There is an opening of stepping into your true path. When you find your true path, you don't need to work. You're just doing that which brings you joy and love, okay? And lets you to step fully into yourself. And Spirit is saying that what you are being gifted with is the ability and the power to step fully into yourself, express yourself, okay? Look at this beautiful siren. Use your voice, expansion, freedom. This is the gift that's going to be coming to you. Step into your sovereignty, loves, and claim it. That's the reading that I have for you today. I hope that it resonated with you and that you got some good messages to be able to support you on your journey toward love, abundance, and joy. And I am so happy to have been here with you. And I hope that you have a joyfully abundant day, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.